man's got fire and a wild hot take. Andrew's stats make the whole place shake. Laughing loud when your team goes down. Straub boys run this sports town. Show! Sundays, Mondays, we live for the fight. College game day and Thursday night. Rivals fall and the banter flies. We bleed our teams till the day we die. S-T-R-A-U-E, two loud mouths and a love for the league. From Cleveland roots to the world we go. This is the Straub Bro Sports Show. Straub Bro Sports Show.
Welcome everybody to another episode of the Straub Bro Sports Show. And if I wasn't ready to go, my theme song got me up and lit, and it's time. Big Bro rocking with you as always with little bro Drew, who's throwing me off in the private comments already. He's distracting me from the show. Little bro, how are we doing?
We are doing great. I am not a fan of the snow that is getting dumped on us, in the second week of November. But hey, that just means that we're gonna get some snow games here soon, and you know what? Maybe that makes me a little happy.
So they tried to call. I'm not 100% sure which game it was, but they tried to call one of the NFL games this weekend the first official snow game, but no. We don't have snow games until you can't see the lines. So yes, that is the only thing I look forward to. I'm mad that you even started that way because I've had to clean my car off the past 2 mornings. I'm not happy. All right. There was an accident the first day because we in Ohio forgot that it snows don't do this.
No one knows how to drive on the first week of snow. It's a thing. It is what it is.
I got you. We'll figure it out. It's all good. So, but hey, without further ado, let's get this thing rolling. And Drew, it's unfortunate. Actually, wait a minute. Hold on. You let me get ahead of myself, so let me bring that back. Yeah, I don't know either.
Blaming me for everything.
Today is Veterans Day. So first and foremost, from us on the Straub Bro Sports Show, I want to wish a happy Veterans Day to all of my veterans. But I want to keep it personal because that's what we do here on the Straub Bro Sports Show. Yesterday was also the Marine Corps' birthday. So first and foremost, happy birthday to the Marines, to my cousin Dee Dee and her husband Matthew. We love y'all. Thank you guys for your service. And to our Uncle Kurt, retired Army, happy Veterans Day to you, sir. And then also to my grandfather, Richard, who was a Marine as well. So, I appreciate all of our veterans. Home of the free because of the brave. So we appreciate all of you and thank you for your service and your sacrifice. Now, absolutely, we can get rolling. Ray, big shout out. Our guys locked in. Cuzzo is in the building and Stash is in the building as well, playing some New Vegas, playing through. This is the background. We appreciate you, Stash. That's my guy. I just hit him up on Facebook. We wishing you nothing but love this year, Stash. And I know you're going to ball out with the Cobras.
And it got to be by far, I think, the best Fallout game there is. So I respect that.
Sure. Listen, it's not my thing. But, and yes, that too. And you already know the owner of the Rapids is in with us as well. Daniel DeMann getting us going as well. All right, Drew. So we've got to talk about it. Let's talk some sports. However, the first thing that we have to talk about is unfortunately not a good story. We've got to bring it on home to our Cleveland Guardians, 2 of our former Cleveland Guardians, Emmanuel Clase and Luis Ortiz have been officially indicted and face up to 65 years in federal prison for their involvement in a betting scheme in which it seems, or it's been told, that Luis Ortiz threw some bad intentional first pitches, which both players were able to cash in on. Ortiz for doing it, Emmanuel Clase for setting it up. Drew, I have bigger thoughts on this that I will get to, but let's start with this, the basics, the first and foremost. How crazy is this?
I think, well, because it's so new, and I think because it's becoming it's because there is it's such a new kind of avenue that we're discovering, which is literally people gaining money illegally on these games. It's shocking now, and I think they're saying up to 65 years because they're trying to throw the book at these guys to stop everyone from doing it. I have a feeling, unless some major changes are in store, which we'll get on, which the MLB kind of just put on, unless some more of those type of changes start to go, this is going to be a thing that's going to be caught consistently as the years go on. And listen, the MLB is no, stranger to controversy. Obviously, we had the major roid scandal in the 90s and 2000s. And then you had the Astros and Red Sox cheating scandal in the 2010s and late, and stuff like that. This is just another scandal that's going to shape the way that the public looks at MLB. Because as we know, the MLB, I wouldn't say is a dying sport, but is definitely losing popularity as it is. And as this continues to go scandal after scandal after scandal, where it sort of delegitimizes the sport in a way, you're going to lose more and more fans. And so, in my opinion, you truly have to wrangle this early if you are the MLB, because you cannot let this get out of hand like it could, because you had the Ohtani thing that you kind of got criticized for, just kind of skirting it under the rug and letting the translator take the blame for it. Now you have this where multiple players are now getting indicted like this. If this continues to snowball into what it could be, this could be very, very damning for the sport.
This is the last thing you called it correctly, bro, and you tried to fix it because we love baseball. It's a dying sport. It's a local sport. It's a dying sport. It's a sport that at this point, if you're not passing down, you're probably not picking it up. This is the last thing they needed. They didn't need it with Ohtani, and they were able to make that go away. They can't make this go away. It's affected the betting as well. I'm the big degenerate on this show. DraftKings and FanDuel have already altered so that there is I think now a $500 limit on first pitch bets, and there are I thought 200 and I jumped it. $200 limit on first pitch bets, and they can no longer be parlayed together. So no, you're not able to triple these bets up or and make these things happen anymore. And they're going to continue. I mean, you and I say you because it's you degenerates, not my degenerate. You degenerates who went after college kids got all of individual player parlays and bets ripped off of all of the betting apps. Now these players have done this and they've gotten these things ripped out. We're going to get to a point, and these things are going to continue to happen. We saw it in the NBA. The NBA didn't do anything about it because it wasn't a known guy. It was a nobody off the bench that we didn't care about. I'm not talking about the current scandal. I'm talking about the one before that we had talked about last year. So that plays a part in this as well. This is going to happen, and as it happens, Vegas and the betting apps are going to get with these leagues, and they're going to tinker with things, and at some point in about a year and a half, our betting apps are going to look completely different. We're still going to be able to be degenerates and bet on MAC football on Tuesday nights like I'm about to, but you will not be able to go into some of these individuals because the money is there, especially with college kids and especially with apparently major league all-star closers who make millions of dollars. Go ahead, and then I want back.
Yeah, I was going to say two things. One, I think you're completely right about the betting apps looking different, whether that's them requiring you to show even more identification to ensure that, these guys aren't doing it under a pseudonym or anything like that. Like, it's actual government information. But another point is you have all of these leagues dealing with it. But the only difference between these kind of things is where the NBA can withstand this hit because of how popular are. College football can definitely. What's going on, man? How we doing? Can definitely hold on to it.
1 second, and I hate to interrupt you, but while he's in there, I want to give my guy a shout out. Shout out to Kodak. Welcome home, big dog. And I'm so glad to have you back in with the Rapids chat. I'm glad to have my guy back. We doing big things this year. And my guy Sterling, too. Sterling, you get your butt back in with us, too. All right, you ain't back in yet. I ain't seen you in these group chats. Get yourself back in under this Rapids umbrella. And yes, absolutely. Big shout out to Kodak as well. I'm sorry to derail you. I got to get my shout outs in before guys come in and get out. Go ahead.
No worries. But I'm saying is all these other leagues can withstand this and can kind of hold on to it until this gets figured out. MLB can't really do that. MLB has a very limited time order to control this, or else they're going to lose a lot of fans that have stuck with them and find this morally wrong and will stop watching it because of the problems that are coming with this.
All right, I'm going to do something that I pray does not derail the entire show. Okay, you just first of all, this is the best thing I've heard so far today. Absolutely can't wait for Sterling to be back in with us. I'm going to move this a little bit, okay? This is the new and improved Straub Bro Sports Show. Ken Straub, updated podcast. I got the big ugly photos of me and Drew out of there. And I've got a whole bunch of personal fun stuff up there. As everybody sees on there, there's a whole lot of Guardian stuff up there. Here's my problem, and I'm just going to say it, and I've said it privately to anybody who will listen to my dumbass talk. I now have to be suspicious because they said themselves that this started in 2003. This was not just last year. Emmanuel Clase has been looked at as possibly doing this since 2003. Shout out to Mel from the 216 Sports Network. 2023, not 2003. I'm old. I'm sorry. I, in my heart of hearts, firmly believe that Emmanuel Clase threw the playoff series that we were involved in against the Yankees, because everybody who was a Guardians fan was all in the collective city group chat going, this dude's never pitched like this. Can you hear me the whole time? Okay. This dude's never pitched like this. This has never happened to this guy. This is our lights out all-star closer who's going into these big moments in the playoffs and just blowing it. You can't tell me I'm wrong. I know I can't prove that I'm right, but I'm sitting on this hill, and right now I'm going to discuss with myself what I'm going to be doing when I go into the Guardian season next year, because I need to hear more about this case. Because if I find out that this is true, and I'm dead ass about this, I'm done watching baseball.
But that's exactly the point I'm talking about. Is you have fans that are seeing something like this that
and I'm a lifer.
Are going to go away, and you don't have the fan base to back it up. You don't have the influx of people coming in and watching it to fill in that group. And so whether or not that's true, I think he looked bad in the Detroit series. So I don't know. So I don't know if that's, but regardless of that, just the fact that it's a scandal is what is the problem here.
All right. Can we be done talking about this?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
It's depressing, and I hate starting the show like that, but it's time. We had a huge college football weekend, and we got to talk about it all. We'll run through it as we always do. We will start at the top and we'll work our way down. We will start with the number one team in the country, the Ohio State University, who beat up on the powerhouse Purdue 34-10. And we're going to pause for a second. Every week when we do this, we normally get to Ohio State and we go, oh, great job, cool, blah, 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 blah. We'll see you when it's over. I want to stop for a second because I got a problem now. We kept saying to teams like Indiana or whoever, call me when you play somebody good. We appreciate what you're doing. I have a question. Is Ohio State at some point going to play somebody good? Because this schedule is atrocious. And while I'm okay with rewarding them with being the number one team in the country, I'm cool with that. Kind of. We'll talk about that soon. At what point are we going to bring up the fact that they're not playing anybody at all?
I think you're right. And I think, one, they were a victim of the Big Ten finally in like 20 years having different teams that are actually decent this year. Because, listen, they played Wisconsin
And
with
Ohio
other than the
State
past
playing
couple
none of
years.
them.
But hold on. Wisconsin normally is a good team. Past couple years has not been good. They played them. Washington the past couple years, and this literally was ranked. And so played them this year. Issue. They did beat Texas, but Texas has been having a down year. They beat Penn State, but Penn State's been having a down year. I don't think the issue is that Ohio State's not playing anybody. They're playing teams that normally do well that are just having down years. But they also did play Illinois, which at the time was the 17th team in the nation, and they play Michigan, who is currently ranked. So their schedule is quote unquote weak, but I don't think that's necessarily their fault because that one, you can't help who you play in your conference. It's preset. And the teams that they did play that normally are good just weren't good this year.
My man Greg's got a great point. Can't help who you play in your conference. Right here, the Big Ten schedule isn't their fault. Don't worry, I'm gonna talk about this. And Drew did last week too. I am
Don't
not.
get started.
Let's get full screen for a minute. I'm not saying that this is Ohio State's fault. However, I don't fault you for Texas being faltered. You played them week 1. That was a major matchup. Everyone, I'm sorry, pardon my language. We all freaking were blowing this game up. It's going to be the best game. It's a rematch from the playoffs. It's a potential championship game. Blah 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 blah. Well, all I'm saying is, and you have to remember, and I know we have a lot of new listeners, especially today. We got big numbers today. Appreciate Daniel for getting our show out there. Every year I got to hear from you. See this leprechaun back here? Don't get it twisted. Okay. Listen, just because I rearranged the shelf don't mean it's not within reach. Okay. Oh, inside the lines. I would appreciate you. That's big. I hear from you Buckeyes fans all the time that my schedule is trash and we should be see, thank you. And all I hear from Ohio State fans is my schedule is trash and I should be knocked for it. All I'm saying is your schedule is trash and you should be knocked for it. That's the same argument y'all give me all the time. Take your smoke back.
One, I agree with you. Two, it does help that they won the national championship. You do tend to be ranked highly then.
100%.
And also, I think the way they've been winning is also helping them because I don't think it's been closer than a 2-score game their entire schedule. That helps. If they were winning by 7 or less, or even 10 or less to some of these teams, I would also be in this camp. But I think they're blowing out everyone they're playing. They're playing amazing football right now. And they got unlucky with the teams that they were playing. So I can't fault them too much.
And what I love so much about the comment section now, too, is all of your OSU biases are coming out. Because I'm making a good point, but you're all too busy trying to yell at things at me that don't matter. Well, Notre Dame's not in a conference. I don't care. That's got nothing to do with this. However, I am going to say, yes, you're right. We don't. And Greg, 100%. However, as a Notre Dame guy, as you keep allowing us to walk into the college playoffs and have a route, you have taken away our incentive to join a conference. I wanted to be in a conference. This guy knows it. I wanted to be in the Big Ten 100% because I wanted that Michigan game back. I want that Michigan State game back. We do have a built-in rivalry with Purdue that goes long back, regardless of how everybody's beating up on Purdue. And I want to play Ohio State. So I would love to be in the Big Ten. I didn't want to go to the ACC. That's where we started negotiating. I'm glad that fell apart. You guys now allow us to have a route to the playoffs. You take away my route, I'm in a conference immediately. And that's also not 100% true because, yes, I set my entire schedule, but Ohio State can schedule out-of-conference games, and they have – when they get in those Big Ten meetings, they split those things up. It's not all completely out of their control. And I'm not saying that I didn't play – the point is that this is not about Notre Dame. So stop talking about me for
We
a
are
second.
too far in on a 35-10 Purdue loss here.
I'm just
let's move it along here.
but there's a reason I bring it up this week, and we're gonna get to it when we get to another team. All I'm saying. Number 2, Indiana. Wow. They squeaked out a 27-24 victory over Penn State. And if you have not seen the catch that was made on the game-winning touchdown, first of all, go watch it because the catch was amazing. Secondly, to my man, Gus Johnson. Oh my God, what a call. I inspire my whole entire broadcasting life is to have something like that go viral. And that was an amazing, and he just completely lost it. Indiana. Whoa.
Okay, one, I would like to get some credit for pushing you on the Gus Johnson train because you went from not liking him at all to now being a fan of his commentary. And I'm just going to take credit for that.
It's not that I didn't like Gus, as I felt like he overhyped everything, and then I had to do it myself, and I was like, you know what? Yes, we hype everything. And hold on, just 1 second. First of all, mom's in the building, so mom gets some love first. Secondly, I love this, and I've always been a fan of this, and I'm okay with this. Like, but I'm just okay. All right. And yes, this is the most important. That catch was amazing. And then Dad brings up something you're going to talk about.
Yeah, and I'm going to say this where, one, this Penn State team has been talented all year. Have they had a couple of slip-ups? Absolutely. And then they face an Ohio State team that has been doing that to everyone, so I'm not going to fault them. This Penn State team was an overtime away from beating the number 9 team in the nation, Oregon. So, and also Indiana played on the road. So they're not a bad team in any regard. And also, listen, Indiana is going to have games like this. They're not a juggernaut. They're a really good team, but they're not the Ohio States. They're not the A&Ms that they're just going to pull away from teams. They're going to struggle a little bit. They won. They kept it in. And that's all you can ask for against a Penn State team that was so motivated to beat that team because it was the last good team they played.
Yes, that last drive was nuts.
Yeah.
I want to pump the brakes on the Heisman talk because what that tight end did on that last drive was more Heisman worthy than anything that Mendoza did. And I 100% agree with you. Indiana's going to have games like this, but that was a close one. I love that y'all are still going back and forth in the comments. I'm not going to lie. And yes, I'm going to give us some credit. Our touchdown call in the championship game, Mel, was 100% on par with Gus. I lost my mind. Mel lost his mind, and then filled in some other stuff. So, and shout out to my guy here from the Warren Pirates. Absolutely. Big shout out. All our PAFL and semi-pro and pro advanced guys, we all love there. Even though we rap his home, all love there. All right, Drew, let's keep it rolling because I'm fired up today. I got takes.
I know.
To me, this is the number 1 team in the country now. Texas A&M.
We've turned. I was gonna ask, are you finally believers in A&M yet?
100%. 38-17 winners over number 22 Missouri. Here's the question I have. What else do they have to do? I've been a hater. I full screened us. Just so you know. I've been a hater. I've not been 100% believer in this Texas A&M team. I thought it's been a lot of smoke and mirrors, a lot of baggage, a lot of history with that team. What more does Texas A&M have to do with what they've had on their schedule to prove to the rest of the country and the committee, no, it's us over here?
You know what they have to do? It's beat the last team on their schedule, and that is Texas. Because Texas, after a bad start, has beaten a really good Oklahoma team and a really good Vandy team. And so if we're talking about a team that truly needs another statement win to ensure their entry into the CFP, it's Texas. And if you can beat Texas and beat them just like you beat Missouri or some other teams that have been in the top 25, that will cement to me, or cement to everyone, this is the team to beat going into the playoffs.
I agree. And here's the thing.
Just keep it moving from the
I gotta
point
keep
of the
going.
comments.
Ray in there clowning. And I understand what Greg's saying that he thinks Ohio State would blow out A&M if they play them. That has zero to do with what I'm talking about, though. The committee doesn't rank these teams based on all the time who do I think can win in a head-to-head. It's resume, schedule, it's all of those. Right now, based on who they have beaten, and in the same fashion that they have pretty much beaten they've had some closer games, but in the same fashion that they've beaten these ranked teams compared to Ohio State and Indiana, for me, the resume in a ranked win puts Texas A&M at number one for me, because here's and just quickly why. When the committee is doing these rankings, it used to be, like you said, Ohio State's national champion comes in this year, stacked, ranked, beating everyone. They sit at one, and that's it. There's no way. They sit there, and everyone else fills in. Now, what you do can look good enough that the committee goes, well, actually, I know Ohio State's really good, but what you're doing on the field is actually better. So I'm not saying Ohio State shouldn't be 2. I'm not saying they should drop far. Just for me, Texas A&M has vaulted over them less than Ohio State has looked bad. And part of that is what I said on the get-go. Unfortunately, their schedule sucks this year, and it's not their fault.
No, I agree. And I think, in my opinion, they should definitely jump Indiana tonight. It'll be up in the air whether they jump Ohio State, because I think Ohio State has done nothing wrong. And then so that's going to be the split in the committee is, do you truly believe that A&M has done enough to vault an Ohio State team that literally has not taken a sidestep once? They have gone forward and beaten everyone in their path. It hasn't even been close other than the Texas game.
That's what I think A&M.
Which, by the way, if A&M beats Texas by more than Ohio State does, then there's no doubt, because you have a common opponent at that point.
I will say this. If the committee decides to give me A&M at 2 and Ohio State at 1, I'm not going to come in the Thursday show and throw a fit. I'm not going to be mad about it.
Right.
But from what I just watched, Texas A&M got to rise. So we'll keep it rolling. We are extremely, extremely long today, but that's all right. Pause. Alabama, 20-9 victors over LSU. Came in, handled business,
took care
go
of
home.
business.
Yeah.
I was going to say real quick, that's what I not hoped for Alabama, but now that I see it, I go, you weathered the storm, you weathered the trap game. Okay, you're legit. You're back up from you losing to Florida State week 1.
It's a big one too. Some the dreads of the Big Ten. What's all these conferences? The dreads of these conferences are awful. But that's a preseason, postseason conversation. I'll derail the whole thing doing that. Georgia, 41-21 winners over Mississippi State. Yes, handle business. Right, did your job. I'll see you next week.
Okay.
Ole Miss.
Throw it to me, please.
Ole Miss, 49-0 winners over the Citadel. And I just want to point out, you jerks didn't cover the spread. Not that I bet on it.
Yeah, 1, congratulations. 2, the best thing that I can congratulate the SEC on is that next year they're moving to a 9-game conference, and one of those out-of-conference games has to be, quote-unquote, a high-quality game against the Big Ten, Big 12, ACC, or Notre Dame every year. We have to put you in there, pencil you in. You have to be an option. But after that, the fact that this has gone on for years and is just now getting taken care of, and yet we look at these records where they have 2 losses. And he goes, oh, but it's 2 losses against a Big Ten with 2 losses. Yeah, but one of those wins is against a team that barely puts a team on the field every year. I don't want to.
Don't you hate on the Citadel, bro?
Sorry, their biggest moment is when they upset a bye game. I don't care. The fact that we had to deal with SEC supremacy when they were playing FCS opponents in week 10, 11, 12 is the most mind-boggling thing. And all I can say is thank God it's ending this year, so you guys can stop hearing me just absolutely rant and tear the SEC apart for allowing it to continue.
It's not just me today, guys. It's this cold weather. You put some snow on us for the first time.
Oh my God.
We get cranky up here, okay?
It's November 11th. It shouldn't be snowing.
I mean, kind of, but whatever. We're used to it by now. I know everybody in the comments can be like, Ken, you just yelled at Ohio State. Well, first of all, Akron and Kent State are kind of like FCS teams as much as we in this area and we love them and all. So I'm really not going, okay? I'm really not going to do that. Mom likes that color on you, by the way, with your ugly-ass Cincinnati jersey.
Thank you. Listen, I'm shouting them out at the end, okay? I had to wear it.
That's fine. Secondly, I've complained about this crap with the SEC for so long. The only problem is I kind of disagree with the SEC is trash. They keep winning everything. So you can complain about them beating the Citadel. The problem was for some of these Big Ten teams, they were beating up on these MAC teams and these bad teams in the Big Ten, and they get smoked out in the big games against the SEC teams. Now, don't get me wrong. Ohio State has handled their own. Michigan's got a national championship in there recently. So, yes, the Big Ten respected as they should be. But when the SEC is winning all the damn time, yeah, they get to schedule the Citadel. I'm glad it's over.
They don't.
I'm so glad it's over. That's all right. Ohio State can put the Citadel on their schedule so they can give them some money too. And shout out to Kent State because they just keep getting whooped on by big ranked teams to get some money, and they kind of need some. I was in that facility. Love y'all. Boom. Here we go. BYU Texas Tech. BYU straight smacked 29-7 by Texas Tech. Drew, we have been calling this for weeks with BYU. We're not sold on this BYU team. We were scared. They thought they were wobbly, and Texas Tech walked in and smacked the dog crap out of them.
Listen, I think if there's one thing to learn is if it happened back-to-back weeks, if there's a Big 12 spread more than 10.5 points, I think you take it because it happened against Utah with us, and we got blown out, and it happened with BYU, and they got blown out. And so I got to say is wow, because listen, this BYU team played Utah and beat them. It was close, but they beat them, and this Utah team looks really good this year. And so you went to this Texas Tech game and you went, listen, I know Texas Tech is probably the better team, similar to the Cincinnati situation where it's like, but this team has looked good enough where you think it's going to be a good game. And then the team that is favored heavily, surprisingly, just absolutely just puts their face in the dirt and walks them for 4 quarters. And all I got to say is wow, because this was the most surprising game, the result of the week by far, but bar none, because wow, BYU, you went from being on top of the world to now people are asking, should you even be considered in the CFP conversation because of this result?
What did I tell you last week? BYU, you just got here. Don't slip up because there's a chance you don't come back because they're not going to believe that you were truly good. And that is exactly what happens. And I could be wrong here, but I would not be surprised if BYU took a massive fall this week. I really don't. They were given that 7 because of the 0 on the end of that ranking. Yes, they got some good wins. Right. They had some good, okay wins in there, but too many close games. Defense was giving up too many points. All it was going to take was a good defense to shut that offense down and go, I'm going to score on you. And that's what we've seen happen. So we'll see. Listen, we've got 2 hour and a half before we find out what these rankings will be. So they'll be fresh off the presses for Thursday's show. Let's keep it moving. We talked about Texas Tech because that was a 7-8 matchup. Oregon Ducks, 18-16 winners over Iowa. And that was close. And yes, you nailed that one. And that was a struggle bus. Awful weather, horrendous rain. Either way, this is not the same Oregon team. It's being reflected in the rankings. And this is not an Oregon team. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I wouldn't be scared of them if I'm any team with a decent defense.
One, I think you're right. 2, I think the weather and the way they had to play played right into Iowa's hands. I still respect the win
Yes.
because, listen, it was according to the CFP rankings, the top 20 opponent, and you beat them. However, I think you're absolutely right. If I'm anywhere above 16, right, and up, I look at this and I go, yeah, I can beat Oregon. Give me one chance. I could beat Oregon. And so that's where I look at that Oregon team and I go, you might still make it just because of the lack of depth in like the bottom half, and they could all just lose out and you could go in by default, as we'll talk about. But that doesn't mean you're going to get very far. They remind me of the Indiana team from last year where the record was good, but some of those games really proved who they were.
The thing that scares me for Oregon is you're going to continue to sit low in the college football playoff rankings. Then you go out and get smacked in the Big Ten championship game. The committee might look at you with a side eye, like I'm looking at you right now. So we'll see. Number 10, Notre Dame. Oh, hold on real quick. Full screen. University of Iowa. Caitlin Clark made you so much damn money. It is unbelievable. And she outscored your football team. Buy a damn quarterback. Why is this so hard? You have tight ends. You got a line. You got decent running backs. Spend a little bit of damn NIL money, not planting some corn, and buy some damn quarterbacks.
Well, first, I will say they did get. This is, I think, the first year of the new head coach stint. That's usually prove it to me, and then we'll give you the money kind of thing. The way Wisconsin is amazingly doing with Luke Fickell. Thank you so much, Wisconsin, for doing that. Anyways, it's the same.
This week. You can't hate this week.
When their top passing yardage was from their punter, you're telling me I can't hate when they get out passed by their punter? No, I will hate
the scoring club. You can't get in.
Anyways,
yeah, all right. That's it. I just
give them a year, and then we'll see how this Iowa team is.
Okay, but spend all that damn money on the quarterback. You got everything else. Spend it on the quarterback. Number 10, Notre Dame, Fighting Irish, 49-10 winners over Navy. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It was close for about a quarter.
You should have. This should be the result. However, you avoided the Navy trap game, which is it happens.
My favorite part was pregame. Poor reporter. She was trying to ask Marcus Freeman all kinds of leading questions, and Marcus Freeman just literally smiled and goes, "We don't worry about that. Just go make a play." And I was like, "Yo, coach, I got like half a play in me. What's up? I'm here, coach."
Let's go.
So we'll move on. Texas, Oklahoma, Utah, all off this week. There's gonna be some. That's a huge break for all three of those teams. I'm not gonna lie. And then we get to just the duds of the weekend. So we start with our second college football playoff victim. The Virginia Cavaliers go down 16-9 to Wake Forest. It was due. It was coming, and Virginia, they blew it.
Listen, and like I don't want to keep saying I called it because I don't like doing that. But I talked about Wake Forest and them being in close games all year against good teams, and it could be it. And Virginia, you went out there and you did exactly what Wake Forest needed you to do, was just not show up offensively. They only scored 16 points. You score what you usually do, Virginia, or winning this game 25-16, and we go, Virginia survives another week. But you laid an egg and put up 9. And so good job to Wake Forest. You got that win that makes your season, hey, we may not have been good, but we beat a top 25 team. Virginia, man, I wanted it to be like a 42-40 loss that I go, hey, the defense just wasn't there. The offense not being there, I think, hurts a little bit worse.
It's funny that it happened the same week, but it's also really funny that we kept comparing this Virginia team to BYU, and they both pretty much went out and laid the same egg. Virginia didn't give up as much, but offense could not get going. But they weren't alone. The Louisville Cardinals, 29-26 losers to Cal in overtime. We talked about it. Louisville was due for a Louisville game, and they Louisvilled it on up.
That's why we talk about it every week. It's because this Louisville team, regardless of how they look, will have one game where they look like they can beat any team in the country, and then have another game where you go, how are they this highly ranked? They're losing to Cal. And that's exactly what happened here. This Cal team, I know, kind of got up last year and some parts of this year, but in general has not looked good, failed to score points, and you let them hang around until it got bad and you couldn't get away from it.
That was about the Notre Dame game, by the way. I missed his comment. The first quarter
that's how Navy games go. You have to wade through all the garbage that they throw at you, and then you get a little bit of a lead and they just fall apart.
Listen, I talked for 25 minutes about a 34-10 game. I'm gonna get a couple more minutes in on this 49-10 game.
Please no.
Yeah, man. I mean, sorry, Louisville. I was high on this team. I like this team a lot. They can put up some points. Miller Moss is a good quarterback. I don't know. I mean, the crazy part is the ACC is still alive for everybody. So the worst part is none of these losses matter right now because everybody's losing. So speaking of losing, speaking of a crazy game, Vanderbilt, 45-38 winners in overtime. They escaped Auburn. And I just listen, I don't like to. Auburn had a chance to kick a long field goal with very little time on the clock. And I know it would have been a long one. And I know they won the kick 6 game. So they probably got some, we don't want to do that.
Vietnam flashbacks.
But they threw the Hail Mary. It didn't even come close, or it wasn't catchable. They go into overtime and lose. I literally was screaming, kick the field. I don't care. Try to kick the field goal. And they didn't. Vanderbilt survives. Scary, though, because if I'm looking at that Vanderbilt team, I'm not 100% sold yet. And now you're struggling there.
I think, one, they saved their CFP chances by winning this game. Like, this loss would have taken them completely out. However, the fact that they were able to win and then play a Kentucky team last week that's worse than this Auburn team, I think surviving this game, they were probably, honestly, that Texas loss probably ripped their soul out. And they kind of walked into this game, and the coach had to kind of get in them to get back into it and win this game. But the fact that they were able to escape after that bad performance and then are going to have another game to kind of get right before that Tennessee game at the end of the year, I think they survived what they had to survive. Because this was the game where back-to-back losses, they're done.
Don't sleep on that Kentucky team. Florida did. Talk about that later. I'm not. I can't answer that because
I also can't agree with that.
Yeah, I don't agree because I think there's some high scoring games, but because everybody can score now. That's why we're out of that range where actually no one's Iowa anymore, but Iowa. So that's what the real problem comes down to. Vanderbilt, Georgia Tech. You had a much needed week off as well. Miami. Hey. Hurricanes are back.
Feels like
38-10 victors over Syracuse. Syracuse has been decimated since Altmaier's been hurt. It's over. I'm sorry, not Altmaier. My guy Angeli from Notre Dame who transferred in there. It's been awful. So it's an okay win. USC 38-17 winners over Northwestern. Northwestern back to being Northwestern. Iowa, we talked about. Michigan, a much needed week off. I do want to I'm going to pick a bone with you when you were like, Ohio State still has to play Michigan. Buckeyes, this is a mid-ass Michigan team. You don't break the streak this year, I don't think you deserve to be in the playoffs. I'm going to say that. You can't. They
were a mid-team last year.
They
were worse last year, if I'm being honest with you.
Cool, and you knew that. So you can't underestimate them this year. You lose this game.
Hey, Syracuse tries, all right?
I love you, Mom.
They try really hard.
They do. They try really, really hard.
The orange, back in the orange.
I like the confidence. Y'all should and that's been the problem.
That's the thing.
Ohio State hasn't actually carried some confidence into that game. It's kind of been, we're gonna fire Ryan Day if he doesn't. Now you won the national championship. You're not firing Ryan Day. Now it's go get this, whatever you want to call it, whatever phrase you want to use, monkey off your back, chip off your shoulder, whatever it is. I'm just saying it better not be this year. Missouri, we talked about. Washington, and I get to rub this one in on this guy right here. Washington, 13-10 losers to Luke Fickell in Wisconsin. What you got now, boy? You've been whooping on this Wisconsin team, getting blown out, getting shut out. They took down the top 25 team, stormed the field. Give love to the Badgers.
No. Let me read out the point totals for this Wisconsin team this year.
We talking about this week.
No.
We talking about this
13.
week.
13 last week, 7 the week before, 0 the week before, 0 the week before, 10 the week before, 10 the week before, 14 the week before. Oh, you scored 42 over Middle Tennessee. Congratulations. And the week before, 17 against Miami of Ohio. I don't want to hear it. This team sucks. Okay, they have a pretty okay defense, but their offense is potentially worse than Iowa's. It is worse than Iowa's because they lost 37-0 to Iowa. You gave 37 points up to Iowa. I am not giving this team any credit whatsoever. You know, the next time I will give this team credit when they fire Luke Fickell, because that's what they should have done after losing 37-0 to Iowa.
First of all, we could not have had a better show to have the boost in viewership that we have right now. Shout out to Daniel. Shout out to Inside the Lines. That's your place to go to if you are tapping into the semi-pro, pro advanced world, and even in the pro sports world too. But that man has the pro advanced level on lock. So shout out to them for the shares, the extra viewers, because we on fire today. You're such a hater, and it's okay because you don't do it for very much. I'm the hater on the show. That's
Very
okay.
few things get me going, and this is one of them.
That's amazing. I don't even. But the only problem is they're not firing him anytime soon. They just gave him the extension and then said we're giving him all the NIL next year. So
yeah,
be careful. Them Badgers are coming for you, bro.
100%. Listen, I want to schedule Wisconsin on a home and home every year.
Never happening.
Just so he can come to Nipper, get booed, and then get blanked.
He says it with his chest. He's a Straub boy. That's how we do it. Yeah, there's more teams to talk about.
No, that's not. They're all on a bye.
Yeah, that is.
Tennessee's going to move up in the rankings because they didn't lose this week. Good job, Tennessee.
Finally, and Pitt is on a much needed week off before they come on in. And all I gotta say is they coach better shut up and stop talking. That's all I'm gonna say.
They don't care if you drop 100. The other 2 weeks matter, Ken. That's what they're saying.
Okay.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it on Thursday.
How y'all kids say it? F around and find out. That's all I'm gonna say. Real quick, because the rankings do come out. We did talk about it a little, but your red X's, those are the teams that Memphis did lose in
Memphis.
In the top 25. Oh, yeah. You didn't think I was going to let that slide, did you? That top 25 ranked bum-ass team that was in the college football playoffs? Memphis.
Hey, you know what's worse? You know what's worse? A lower ranked now team is going to make the college football playoff. So that's on you. You're going to keep hating, and we're going to get a 3-loss, 4-loss non-Power 5 team in because you keep hating.
This is such a glaring hole in this thing. BYU, thank you for coming. Virginia, thank you. Both of those teams have to win out and win their conference championships to make it. Memphis, I hate you. I'm sorry. It's not basketball season.
I have a fix, actually. Require the group of 5 team to have less than 2 losses.
Yeah, or they don't make it.
Yeah, there you go. There's the fix. If there is no group of 5 team if there's no group of 5 team that has 1 loss or is undefeated, they don't get a spot.
I'm cool with that. Unless your 2 losses or 3 losses are all the ranked teams, and then I can maybe let you slide depending on the scores.
But then you're nitpicking it. But
I know I am. Memphis
conference loss, 1 conference loss. Then
there you go. Tulane 38. I'm sorry, Memphis 38-32 losers to Tulane. No.
Tulane.
Yeah, you listen. You did.
That American's tough, baby. That American's tough. It's a gauntlet to get through that conference, baby. That's all I'm saying.
All right, we're gonna breathe. We're gonna take a break, and we're gonna come back. We're gonna hit Big Bro's big bets, and we're gonna hit Drew's quarterback watch.
Ken Straub here for Schmoopy Sweets and Treats.
the official bakery of the Straub Sports Show. And I'm also here with...
Stella.
And...
My name's Straub.
And boys, do we have a lot to tell everyone about today. Schmoopies is your go-to for all your bakery needs. Gluten and dairy-free options for muffins, cheesecakes, rolls, breads, cupcakes, cake pops, pies, cakes, you name it, it's there. And boys, what do we think?
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Me too, boys. So, if you need anything, especially in this fall time, make sure you get in your orders for pies and pumpkin rolls and cinnamon rolls. Place your order now at...
Smoothies. Sweets and treats.
All right. A little minute break there on the Straub Sports Show, and we're back. And it's time to kick this thing up in a little bit of overdrive. We went very, very long in our college football segment, but hey, that's all right. Drew, flip the coin. You called it in the air. You want to go first or second?
I'll go first. I'm curious about yours, but I want it to be an ending segment. So we'll do mine first.
All right. So without further ado, the man with the best spreadsheet in all college football brings you his top quarterbacks of the week.
Yes, week 11, and we had some interesting ones this week. First off, in the survival win, it wasn't his fault because it was a shootout. Diego Pavia from Vandy, 377 yards and 3 touchdowns. I think back-to-back. He was here last week, so good on him. And his counterpart on the opposite side of the field, Ashton Daniels from Auburn, made it as well. 353 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. Just couldn't get the win there. Potentially, maybe the best name we've had on the show so far, J.C. French the fourth from Georgia Southern, 352 passing yards and a touchdown in a win. Amazing name.
I think he also led troops in the French and Indian War as well.
No, yeah, he was 100% somewhere in World War II in the front lines. Trinidad Chambliss, a regular on the show.
And you were incorrect because that's the best name, but that can be said.
I don't know. J.C. French the fourth, I think, may be up there.
Anyways, James.
Ole Miss, 333 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. I was this close to not putting him up here because it was against the Citadel, but I told myself, hey, we agreed from the beginning. It's not the opponent. It's what he does. And so I kept it on there. I kept my bias out of there. He deserves to be up there. He's there. Ken, your favorite team, Tulane, Jake Retzlaff, 332 passing yards and 3 touchdowns in the upset win over Memphis. I think now they hold the top spot to potentially be in the college football playoff. I'm not 100% sure on that. We'll see tonight, but great job from him. Kevin Jennings from SMU did it all this week. 239 passing yards and 2 passing touchdowns, 109 rushing yards and a rushing touchdown. Absolutely fantastic. Listen, we've talked about it. When this SMU team gets going, they are one of the best teams in the ACC.
Yes.
They just play. They're Louisville. They play also really, really low. And I know this Kansas team has been pretty bad this year, and it showed it from the Arizona game where I told people to take the over on that and lost people money. I apologize on that. Kansas, Arizona should be a lock. I'm sorry, and the over. Anyways, he played well, 199 passing yards and a passing touchdown, 74 rushing yards and a rushing touchdown. He can do a lot, but the issue is no one else around him can.
Amazing. You kill it as always, every single time. Absolutely. Drew's froggy. If he's froggy, I don't know what the hell you calling me. I would like the quarterback guru to address that question.
He has been on the show before. I will say, one, Ohio State has been winning because of the defense. He's never had to get into any shootouts to truly prove that he can do it. And the one time that he played a top opponent, him and Arch Manning both struggled. 2, they've been so ahead of games, they've either taken them out or just leaned on the running game in the second half. And so he is a great quarterback. He has done his job and he's made some really good throws. But there's been no game where I've gone and said he took control of that game and he won them that game. Not that that's any disrespect to him, but the other surrounding parts are so good and so much better than the opposing team that he doesn't have to be that guy yet.
You're not funny, Oz.
He's funny.
He's funny. this Ohio State fans aren't going to like this because they're going to go, no, he's better. Relax. There's the reason JJ McCarthy didn't get a lot of love in the Heisman talk.
He did his job.
Right. And they had the running game and the defense. Julian saying is focused on a national championship. Get that Heisman crap out your locker room and out his head. Maybe next year, maybe the junior year, but right now, win the ball games in front of you, kid. You're a kid still. So don't get them off that train. You don't, if you're a Ohio State fan, you don't want even near that. Let's focus on what's ahead of you. All right, let's get to it. It's time for Big Bros, Big Bets, and bro, we back.
Yes.
We back. 4-2 on our locks again. Georgia, minus 8.5 over Mississippi State. I hammered that. I told you that was the best one of the week, and it was. West Virginia, minus 6.5 versus Colorado. Ooh, we sweated that boy out. Shout out to Rich Rod in West Virginia. Same thing for him that you talked about with Iowa. First year in, got to feel it out. Got to see the difference maker has been him going to this kid at quarterback who can run and throw the ball, and that has been the difference for West Virginia. It also helps that I don't know what the hell is going on in Colorado, but once again, I'm going to say it, it's not good. And I don't know what needs to happen. I don't know if he just needs another year to get in another recruiting class. He cannot just go out and buy classes with this NIL and in the portal. This man Prime has got to get out and recruit. I'm rooting for him more than anybody else who isn't in his family, but he's got to get out there and recruit better because it's not looking good right now at Colorado. Syracuse versus Miami, over 45.5. Boom, lock it in. San Jose State, you lucky I love you so damn much because that was an awful performance against Air Force. Although it's Veterans Day, so I guess we can't have Air Force losing on Veterans Day. Cal plus 20.5 versus Louisville. We locked that boy in. And then Florida minus 3.5 to Kentucky. I am so pissed off right now at these Florida Gators. You blew everything apart that I had college football wise because I thought that was a lock. I know this Kentucky team can score, but I'm like, come on, Florida. You want to finish your season respectfully? No, you don't.
Can I say it? Like 38-7.
Smoked.
Like that's bad. Like it's not like Kentucky won or they kept it close. 38-7 is atrocious. And we have our resident Florida fan in here. Yeah. I'm gonna need some sort of explanation. Have you just given up on the season and you're like, all right, we're finding a coach or what? Because that was bad.
And was this dude not in here talking about DJ Lagway for Heisman?
Yeah.
Get out of here, dude. You should still have Anthony Richardson, and you should still
after a win over Long Island. That was the Heisman cock there.
Yeah, get out of here, Sean. But hey, Marzinski, always appreciate you, big dog. He said no, I wasn't. I'm gonna call.
We have the recordings. I'm bringing that back and seeing if we have.
I was about to say, bro, I got a whole hard drive of these shows. You don't want to pull up on us like that. We'll bring the receipts. And guess what?
Yeah, it was week one.
And guess what? Neither has the rest of the country. Unless we're forced to. Just for the record, that puts us at, those are updated numbers. That puts us at 39-27 overall on the season through 11 weeks on our locks. I'm still above 500 and I'm pushing even further. Upsets this week. It's hard when you pick 6 to hit them all, but hey, we got 2 good ones. One good one and one huge moneymaker that I myself cashed in on as well. Hawaii plus 215. Lock that in. Smack that in. We love our Rainbow Warriors. They get the job done. BYU, no thank you. LSU, no thank you. I did not truly believe in the LSU one, but I really liked the odds there. And that BYU one, I could not put that in there with a 7 versus 8 and them being that big of an underdog. However, Vegas knew what we were talking about, and that was that it was shaky. Boston College, I tried. I really did. There's a reason you have 1 win. Penn State, very, very close. We almost locked that one. But the Cal Bears bringing it home, plus 890. Yeah, give me that one, baby. And that's 23 upsets picked through 11 weeks. Himeth, give me some love. All right.
Okay, let's go to the NFL. That was
I told you. Hey, where is it? Boom. And you're just kidding.
Yeah. I think that's he should have put in parentheses derogatory. Anyways, let's move on to the NFL.
Absolutely. So whew, it started with one of the worst Thursday night games you've ever watched.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't remember a time where a Thursday and Monday night game in the same week has looked so bad. Because they said it was the first for Monday Night Football. It was the first scoreless game since 2009, I think, with the Browns and Ravens. Shocker, we were a part of it. But the fact that the Thursday night game was also atrocious just made it so. That's what we look forward to, man, on Mondays and Thursdays, and just let us down.
And I will say that he is 100% not talking about the game, and he is 100% talking about the parlays that got blown on that Thursday night game as well. Yeah, dude, it sucks. Denver is lucky; their defense is elite. Bo Nix was spending most of our Sundays being really bad for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then being good for like the last hour. And it's now to the point, and I'm stealing this straight from my guy Ben Simmons. He's like bad for like 2.5 hours and then just kind of shows up at the end. Dude, it's almost like Tebow-esque. Like, this guy's not good. He's throwing ducks. And then all of a sudden it gets clutch time and the man can play quarterback again. It's, whew. Yes, and Monday. Yes, and Monday's parlay. We'll get to your awful debacle of a team here in a minute, Oos. But let's get to the rest of the Sunday. The Colts get it done, 31-25 over the Falcons. Dude, the addition of Sauce Gardner, Jonathan Taylor, MVP-like season, Danny Dimes not blowing games. The Colts have a recipe to get to the playoffs, no problem. But we'll see what happens when you guys step outside that dome.
No, one, you're absolutely correct. Two, I think, avoiding a Falcons team that on any given week could beat anyone, but then also lose to anyone. Good job there. But also, yeah, I'm going to say if Jonathan Taylor is not a top 2 MVP candidate by the end of the year, barring some knock on wood crazy injury or awful run of form at the end, I don't know what to do. Then I will officially give it a quarterback award because this man is having it. Listen, I'm going to die. I died on this hill last year with Aston Johnson for the Heisman. I'm going to die on this hill for Jonathan Taylor. We're not going to give it to other positions just because they're somewhat better than the rest of the field. I'm not giving it to Drake May because he's having an above average season in terms of quarterback play when Jonathan Taylor is having one of the best running back years since the early 2000s. I won't do it. He deserves the respect there.
And just like with your Aston Johnson argument, you're going to make great points and you're going to be right a lot. And at the end of the day, you're going to lose and it's going to be wrong. But I think
you crown a new quarterback.
But I think you have, well, yes, 100%. This is what this is going to be this year because the 2 MVP candidates played a game and they both kind of balled out. So that's definitely going to help them. However, you have a shot, but I don't think so.
Awful.
You're effing Browns.
Oh, can I make a quick point?
Yeah, go ahead.
Literally, I don't even want to talk about it. I want like 3 quick points. One, put in the kid. And no, I don't mean Gabriel. Put in Shador. I've said this for weeks now. Because when Gabriel first started, I said, give him 5-6 weeks. Let's see if he progresses. There has been no progression. The game is not slowed down for him. He just looks absolutely lost out there. Even if Shador Sanders looks like a worse Dorian Thompson-Robinson out there, I at least want to see it. I want prove it to me that he is not capable. 2, I don't know what I think this team just gave up because this defense, for how good it is, if we were even close to a playoff spot, would not give up 27 points to the Jets. And 3, this is another reason why this draft is so important. I think the ownership has to take a real long look as to why our GM and head coach have such job security because this is atrocious. When you have this important of a draft coming up, you really have to look at saying, is this head coach and GM truly giving me anything to keep their jobs? And I don't think there is.
I've been fired up today, so I'm going to try to reel this in. It's the most important draft It is a stupidly talented draft. Excuse me. Not just at all positions, but quarterback specifically. And you idiots aren't actually throwing the other quarterback you drafted out there to just see what he can do. Now, I will give point to my guy Ray. I think he's still here. If not, I'll be back. He even said to me, because I was yelling about it on Sunday, and he said, hey, some of these quarterbacks have waited. And I get that. But those teams weren't in position to then go and draft another one the next year. They knew they had the guy in waiting. We haven't heard that out of the Browns. That Dylan's going to finish this out. Shador's the guy of the future. We're wait. No, it's been third string, practice squad, whatever. The NFLPA should file a grievance against the Browns on Shador Sanders' behalf to get him the hell out of there. And guess what? If he's trash, I'll eat my words and I'll take it and I'll stand there as a man and take my shots. But damn it, give the kid a chance. Dylan Gabriel is ass. I told you before he got drafted that the problem with the kid flat out, hello, we spent 50 minutes doing college football. This is what me and this guy do. He throws interceptions. He is too short. I know that's not a thing anymore. It's not going to work. He's going to throw it to the other team, and he's going to not look great sometimes. You can't do that in the pros. When in college, you got nothing but pros around you and all-stars. That don't happen in the NFL. Not all these guys are pros. You got to throw to your third wide receiver who's not a five-star recruit. You got to throw to some guys who are journeymen and are guys who are on their downside. You've got to make it work as the quarterback, and Dylan Gabriel can't make it work. How much more you need to see to know that? That pisses me off to no end. Secondly, holy crap, yes, your defense gave up, because that's one of the worst performances they've had all year. Flat out. And this Jets team is hot garbage. It has less talent than the Browns. It has less everything. And they went out there and looked better than you. And that's scary. I understand you're tanking. That's cool. The Tennessee Browns matchup at the end of the year is going to be an awesome scenario in which, you know, somebody's going to get that number one pick. We saw how it worked out a couple years ago with Houston and other. That's going to be a fun one.
So I'll say this and then I'm done. I try not to be the hot take world's on fire Browns fan because I've been around them my entire life and I find them very irritating sometimes. Looking back at previous recent history and regimes, when you talk about John Dorsey traded Carlos Hyde to get Nick Chubb in there when Hugh Jackson wouldn't start them. He probably would have traded Tyrod Taylor so Baker Mayfield would have started instead of Hugh Jackson letting him sit on the bench. GMs understand that sometimes they have to take it out of the head coach's hands to play players, especially when a season is lost, because head coaches are playing for wins. They're not playing to develop guys. Andrew Berry sits back, does not answer questions from the media, lets Kevin Stefanski take all of the heat, whether he deserves most of it or not. I'm not saying whether or not he does, but the fact that Andrew Berry does not get up on that podium during the week and address concerns from the fans and let Stefanski take all of this heat is awful and abysmal. And that's when John Dorsey came in and he made that trade from Carlos Hyde, and he's like, Nick Chubb has impressed us. We don't need another start. He made this claim. John Dorsey was in that, and that's what makes a great GM from a bad GM, is taking it out of your head coach's hands and saying, listen, I know you're doing your job. Let me do mine.
My only counterpoint is be careful when your GM gets up and talks all the damn time. You're just lucky that your GM isn't your owner. So be careful.
Listen, I don't want Jerry, but I also don't want Andrew Berry. We had the GM we wanted, and now he's again I think he's back with the Chiefs.
I could not agree more with what you just said. There's a lack of...
No, sorry. He's with Detroit, who just went to an NFC Championship game last year. Crazy how that works, where he's had success everywhere.
I mean, I'm going to let the angry Browns fans speak on behalf of the Browns fans, so I'm not going to touch that. I will say this, though. I 100% agree with you. There's a lack of accountability, and what bothers me the most is you watched your head coach fumble, struggle, and put his foot in his mouth every single moment possible when he was trying to handle the Deshaun Watson issue. You learned he can't do it. Take the damn thing out of his hands. Let him go do Mike Tomlin's speech, because if you've ever watched a Mike Tomlin post-game speech, it's some of the most awesome nonsense you have ever heard in your life, okay? You would thought that they are literally in war sometimes with the way he talks about the team, and then he just doesn't answer any of the questions. He just gives these little one-offs and these little lines. Take that out of his hand. He's struggled.
Let him coach. Let him coach.
Well, I'm not
that's the
good at
dude's
that
job.
either anymore, to be honest with you. But
what I'm saying, this man should be focused on nothing but getting the team ready and maybe giving injury updates based on practice. He should not be answering Deshaun Watson questions. He should not be answering Shedeur Sanders questions. He should not be answering this garbage. This is not his game. And so, listen, whether or not you want Stefanski gone or not, because I know some people still, it's getting more and more fire Stefanski, but there's still a group of people that believe it's not entirely his fault. However,
can I ask a question?
Well, real quick. However, the bigger overarching issue is that you have a GM that refuses to take accountability for the moves he himself is making.
These Stefanski backers, what the hell are they backing? Like, what is it that they can say, hey, it's this? Look at, we're still hanging on that Baker stuff and the Flacco 4 games? Whew, okay. All right.
It's the people that say that,
moving on.
The people that say that a playoff appearance is enough for a head coach to keep his job.
Ooh, wow. I hear all about that with the Cowboys, that's not good enough, but we're going to move on.
Okay.
17-7, the Saints over the Panthers. Panthers come back to earth, mid, Saints, whatever. The MVP candidates, your two leaders, went head-to-head as my guy, Drake May, beat my guy, Baker Mayfield, 28-23. Awesome little shootout we had. Fun little game. Damn it, Drew. Get on this Drake May New England Patriots train.
Listen, I will say, I like this team. I think they're going to do very well. I still can't say what they're going to be like in the playoff because I haven't seen this team in the playoff. So I'm going to wait on, announcing them the AFC contenders in the Super Bowl. But I'm going to give him credit. Like I said, I like what Drake May is doing. I think this defense has really helped him out. I think he's playing the way he needs to play and getting it to receivers, and the running game has stepped up. I think everyone on this team is complimenting each other greatly, and they're doing great. I think they're a complete team. I just need to see it on the big stage because we just talked about a team like the Colts. We've seen so many regular season champions just absolutely die in the playoffs. And I have to see that. We saw it with Pittsburgh. We saw it with the Titans when they had Derrick Henry. We see it with the Ravens every year. That's the issue is we need to see it when it matters.
Attaboy. Speaking of the Ravens, 27-19 winners over the Minnesota Vikings. I agree with you, by the way, on all the stuff with the Patriots, but you know I got to be obnoxious. So we're going to ride this train.
What?
The Ravens back to winning ways, 27-19 winners over the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, you need to keep winning though. Like, listen, it's a good win and you should have won it. You were still 4-5. And listen, I will say though, Pittsburgh, and we'll get to them, is laying an egg currently and keeping you in this race. However, you are still 4-5.
12-5 is still a possibility.
Sure. Theoretically, it is still possible. Yes.
The reason I'm high on this Drake May and Patriots train, the Buffalo Bills, speaking of laying eggs, the Miami Dolphins, 30-13 winners over the Bills. I have said it for weeks. The Bills are weird. They don't play complete games. Even when they win, sometimes it doesn't look good. Cool, they beat up on the Chiefs. Dude, you're going to be looking on the outside and traveling, which has been this big thing for Buffalo, making all these teams come into Buffalo. You're looking at a wild card spot right now if you're Buffalo because you can't get your crap together on a weekly basis. There's no excuse for this result.
No, absolutely not. Listen, when a team loses to the Browns 27-6, that team should never, especially this year, that team should never win another game.
That's why the Jets might not.
But that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like this is really weird. And I don't know if it's a scheme issue in terms of the offense or just not having the talent that they used to have on the offense and defensive side of the ball. But man, can this team just, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if it's a player issue, like a talent issue, or I don't know if it's a coaching issue. If I'm being honest, I haven't looked too deeply into this. But yeah, no, they're in trouble. They're in real trouble because the Bills' schedule, I don't think gets really much easier. I can actually pull it up right now to make sure that I'm not speaking, out of my mouth here.
I got you.
Bucks, Texans, Steelers, Bengals, Patriots, Eagles, Jets. So some good wins, but some ones that you're like, man, can they really win that game?
Then you got the Browns in there though. So that'll be a fun one.
They already. Oh yeah, they play us. I forgot about that. Yeah, that's a win. That's a free win.
The problem is Josh Allen is the most lethal goal line option we have in the NFL. The problem is the rest of the offense can't always get him to the goal line, and the defense is too busy giving up touchdowns to allow him to try to get to the goal line. So it's not complete for the Bills anymore. And I said it last year. I said, did this window close because of all of this losing and the losing guys on defense because you've paid other guys? And I'm starting to look kind of right. I would listen. That doesn't mean he can't get hot in the playoffs and lead him to a Super Bowl. But I'm just saying it's not.
They also haven't drafted very well, if I'm being honest. They haven't been able to fill those replacements.
No, and that is very underrated. It's why the Seahawks were able to stay good for as long as they were. It's why the Patriots were able to stay good. It's why the Chiefs kind of had a fall off. You got to draft good, and if you don't, you're going to be back down with the rest of them. You just got a good quarterback doing it. Excuse me. An exciting one. I was hyped for this one. I watched bits and pieces of it because I was hyped for it. Caleb Williams and the Bears, 24-20 winner over Jackson Dart and the Giants. However, and I'm not going to derail the whole entire thing, we were very close to me having a Washington Commanders-esque rant about these damn Giants because they're going to run their poor young quarterback, literally scramble his brain like the Miami Dolphins did to Tua, because they allow this kid to keep running and they allow this kid to keep running into these problems and getting these concussions. Jackson Dart was concussed the second time this year. They ran, I think it's like 45, it's like 35%. I'm sorry, or like 45 to 50% of their offense is him running the football. What the hell are y'all doing? And Brian Daboll, you were the casualty as they fired head coach Brian Daboll this week. I'm not 100% sure how I agree on this because like Dan Orlovsky went on a nice rant on NFL Live about how he should have stayed because of the rapport that he's gaining with Jackson Dart. And the guys seem to like him, and Cam Scadaboo likes him. The problem is, you can like my franchise quarterback all you want. When I look over in the division and watch them run their franchise generational quarterback into the ground and get him hurt, and you're doing it the week after, you got to go.
Yes. First, I completely forgot to say that Buffalo-Miami score, that's exactly why Mike McDaniel still has his job. And they want to keep him going because that was a great win for them. But going back to this game, yeah, no, I think the issue is I think Brian Daboll's a very likable guy. I think he's good for the locker room kind of guy, gets the guys motivated to go. But you can find a guy that's going to motivate them, but also coach a good game. Listen, Freddie Kitchens, Baker Mayfield loved Freddie Kitchens, and then they went 3-13, and they went, actually, you're gone because you can't coach a football game. That's exactly with Brian Daboll. He's probably a really good guy that all the players love and gets them motivated. But if you can't win with those set guys, you're not going to be in a head coaching position.
The Giants, the only team in the NFL to blow 2 14-plus point leads on the road this year. That also plays into it well. You have a quarterback that the entire league goes, oh, this kid's got talent. You had a running back. And now here's the problem for Daboll too is Malik Neighbors is out for the year. Brian Daboll or Cam Scadaboo's out for the year, so it doesn't look good. You have both of those guys in, legit, the Giants might be fighting for the playoffs.
Fair. And also, I want to say, Bears, because of other results we're going to talk to, second in the NFC North right now with that win.
Let's go. All you Caleb Williams haters, you better start painting your nails. That's all I got to say, because you were all hating on him. We had a good, hey, Houston and Jacksonville.
Thank you.
Thanks for playing to your potential. Texans, 30.
Davis Mills.
Look at Mills.
Would it be my fantasy week this week? I put him in my super flex.
You are an awful human being. Our super flex? Wow.
Yeah.
36. Yeah, you're desperate in that one. 36-29.
I won. I don't care.
Although I think I'm in last place, but we'll move on. 36-29 winners over the Jaguars, who have now lost Travis Hunter for the year. Jacksonville, go the hell away. They were in a playoff spot. I don't want them in the playoffs. I'm done. I don't care. I know I haven't ripped on many quarterbacks on the NFL side this week, other than kind of Bo Nix and the entire Jets organization. But Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence, you're mid. You suck. Go away.
Honestly, if I'm being completely honest, I think Trevor Lawrence deserves a Sam Darnold / Daniel Jones type run where he gets into a good offense. Because I think, honestly, I don't like. He may be bad right now. I don't think it's all on him.
He's got receivers. He's got
not anymore.
Well, no, not anymore. Well, I mean, he still has Brian Robinson.
They were winning when he had receivers.
Yeah, I know. I know, and Brian Robinson Jr. or Brian Thomas Jr. is dropping the ball all the time too, so that doesn't help. I had this one locked in, and I told y'all. Seahawks, 44-22 winners over the Cardinals. Jacoby Brissett, Kyler Murray. It don't matter. Arizona sucks. Moving on. Same score. Flip it and reverse it. Missy Elliott. Lions, 44-22.
I was really hoping you'd make a comment on that, and you just knocked it out of the park, and that's why you're my brother.
That's what I do, baby. 44-22 winners over Marcus Mariota and the Washington Commanders. I'm surprised Washington didn't just try to strap Jane Daniels in there with a cast on and run him out the way. Those dumbasses do that in Washington. Detroit back to winning ways. I do not want to play them on Thanksgiving. It's going to be a bloodbath. It's so not fun to be fun. And the fact that we're both playing on Thanksgiving is awful together or against each other.
I'm playing on Thanksgiving?
Are you really?
Am I? No, wait. I thought that's what you meant.
I meant we as in Cowboys in Detroit. They play each other.
Oh,
the fact that we're playing each other on Thanksgiving is just awful. Split that up. The noon game is good now because Detroit's good. You don't need to feed us.
You play the Chiefs. You're fine.
Oh, I played the Chiefs. My bad. For some reason, I thought it was the Lions. I 100%
Lions play the Packers.
Oh, thank God. They're going to eat them apart. But my Cowboys are going to get slaughtered on Thanksgiving regardless. I'm already just picturing it. It doesn't matter who we play. We're getting slaughtered. LA Rams 42-26 winners over San Francisco. I think it's time to put this San Francisco thing to bed. It's just not there this year. They can't keep quarterbacks upright. They can't keep guys on defense. It's just not there. And you're not giving the ball to Christian McCaffrey on the goal line, blowing my fucking streaking parlay. I apologize for my language. It's a spicy day. That just pissed me off too. Go away, San Francisco.
They're 6-4 still. I know. I still can't get them out of there because, like I said, you look at the standings, right? And I'm playoff picture. I'm pulling it up right now. They are the 8th team with just behind Chicago and Green Bay and LA. I can't call them out of it right now because literally Ricky Pearsall comes back, Brock Purdy stops hurting himself, and I think Kittle comes back at the end of the year. This could be a team they win 2 and they're in. You never know.
They're just the most. They're the weirdest of all these above 500, or one of the weirdest, because I don't believe in it right now.
Shout out to Kyle Shanahan too by keeping this team 6-4 with everything that's been going on,
keeping them afloat. Right. That Bears team is coming too. Watch out. And who was that all the way down there in 10th place?
No, it's 7th place, just above San Francisco, Green Bay.
Phew. That lights out defense. Although they did play well. The Steelers, man,
the defense played well.
The Steelers, 25-10 losers to the Chargers. Can we just admit I'm right? Can we just?
We have.
No. Oh no, I got a lot of flack saying that. No, the Steelers, Aaron Rodgers, they're not good. The defense is good. That dude can't throw the ball down the field anymore. That offensive line also is horrible. It sucks. So he doesn't have time. But when I watch him have time, he can't do it anymore. I love Aaron Rodgers. He's the best quarterback I have ever watched play the position. He is amazing. Okay?
Nate's just mad. Nate's just mad at you right now.
He is, because I am about to slaughter him. I don't know what to tell you. Like what? You actually made me lose my train of thought. I had to come back to the game. Thank you. They're not. He can't. I love him. He can't throw the ball anymore. It's not good. This doesn't work. And good defenses know that he can't throw the ball down the field, and they're like, "Yo, throw the ball down the field. I'm taking everything else away." And guess what? You can't do it.
No, I've been coming to this conclusion for the past couple weeks, as you've been saying it. However, listen, I think they're gonna beat bad teams.
Love you, mama.
They're gonna beat bad teams just because the defense is gonna help, and then the offense can do just enough. But when they play a team that has a really good defense, it's gonna be a struggle. And I mean, that's not surprising. We saw that when he was with the Jets, where we saw flashes where he went, okay, he can get there. But then when he plays a team that is objectively better than the team he's playing on, it's a struggle. And that is also very true. This is one of the worst Steelers lines I've seen in years, because they were, for the longest time, they were really good. Then they got kind of shoddy. This is another level of bad.
And that's like 65 years of watching Steelers football, beating up on the Browns. So that man has seen a lot of Steelers offensive lines. Poor Pop's getting a shot too.
Hey. He's still young.
The Monday night game.
Oh my God.
I want to personally apologize to the entire...
did this. You did this.
I want to
hate watch too hard.
I want to personally apologize to all NFL fans. I came in on Thursday's show and said that I didn't even want this game to happen. I wanted like the Bane earthquake from Batman, and I wanted this game to not go on. Drew,
that would have been better.
I was going to say, Drew, number one, that would have been more entertaining than the garbage-ass game that I had to illegally try to stream because my ESPN is gone right now because YouTube TV and them are fighting, and I'm trying to figure this out. Number two, I think there would have been more points in that game. This game sucked. This game was awful. Our parlays had more red dots than green. This is what I have to say. Number one, 10-7. Both defenses, I have ragged on this Green Bay defense. They only gave up 10 points. However, this Philly offense looks like a high school offense right now, not even a pro offense. Number two, I was right about Aaron Rodgers. When the hell am I going to get my credit for calling Jordan Love what he is, mid as hell, not better than Dak Prescott, and the only reason he doesn't get this hate is because he doesn't play for the damn Cowboys. Because he plays for the lovable-ass Packers that everybody loves because all these rich people in Green Bay are owners and everybody thinks they're the common man team. No, stop it. They're mid. Jordan Love sucks.
Listen, all I got to say about this game
actually in the play calling for Jordan Love does also suck, but Jordan Love sucks too.
All I'm gonna say is I needed 40 points from Jordan Love.
Why are you two? Don't ban us.
Devontae Smith. That's 40 points. That's 20 apiece. Jordan Love, it's a quarterback. You can get 20 easy. Devontae Smith, 16.9 points. You know what? It wasn't breakout, but it's good. That means you needed 23, 24 points from Jordan Love. 7.8. 7.8 points as a quarterback. And let me tell you that everyone except for 2 players on my team beat that. And one of them that beat him was the kicker. He doubled his score. He had 15 points. Jordan Love, Packers, I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. 0 points in the first half. This first since 2009. It was 3-0 at the end of the third quarter. What are we doing?
Listen, I've yelled for weeks that neither of these teams are that good. It just so happens that they proved it against each other that they're not that damn good. I know that they're winning or whatever, but listen, yes, I also, the fact that this has turned into the fantasy football Straub Sports Show is we got to get this back on the rails. Although this is how bad some of these games are. But yeah, listen, this Eagles team is not going to win like this in the playoffs. And the Packers are going to fall out of the playoffs if they keep losing games. Although they're still good. But they're going to fall out of the playoffs if they keep playing like this.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Real quick. Cowboys on a much needed bye. Chiefs on a resting bye. Titans would have probably rather played and lost another game to get further to the number 1 pick. The Bengals. We don't normally talk about our teams on a bye, but our man Greg was asking questions in the comments, but I want to come back to the Bengals because we had Bengals news. Joe Burrow back to practice, on track to possibly be the starter for the Thanksgiving game or Thanksgiving week. What I don't know.
No, it's the game. They're on Thanksgiving.
Okay.
I will say the issue is they play Pittsburgh and New England before that, and they're 3-6. You drop to 3-8, and your season's done. Put Burrow on a shelf, sit him. You win those two, you're 5-6. You gotta, and so I think it truly depends on these next 2 games for the Bengals.
Greg's here, so I'm gonna hit him with a question so he can get his comment in quick. Greg, you win 1 or 2 of those games going into that Thanksgiving game. Do you still want him to sit? I'm gonna let that sit. The injury, the plantar fasciitis. Oh, he's back far. Here's the best way I can describe this. I'm a soccer player. Okay, so there is my no. Nope.
He just wants to cut. All right.
And I'm not mad at that. I am not mad at that. But I wanted a Bengals fan perspective from that. I like Joe Burrow. I want to see Joe Burrow play. We some soccer players. That was my sport. That's what I did my whole life. That toe isn't being kicked with. He's out for months, more further, if he's got a kick. It's all pain management now. If it's healed, if it's healed and he can plant, they're going to tape him up, and it's all pain management from that point forward. So, and he's a young athlete with an enormous amount of money, access to all of the best facilities and the rehabs and the creams and the shots. I'm not talking steroids. I'm talking things that literally the rest of us who get hurt don't have access to. So he could be there on track to play. Damn it, Cincinnati. You are watching what Washington is doing. You are watching what the Giants done, and you've already done it to this kid, and he's better than any of the other guys that those guys got. You could argue about Jaden Daniels. I'll still take Joe Burrow every day.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's just that damn good. This ain't your year. Your defense cannot stop a high school. I keep bringing up the high schools. They could not stop Akron's offense right now. Do not do this. I don't care if you win both games. Don't do this.
Fair point.
Okay. We'll wash that up. No, on track for Thanksgiving, Mom. We'll see. All right. I got more to yell about now. Damn you. That'll do it.
If I'm being completely honest, not the worst result. Anyway.
No, not the worst for now. We get our college. We hit some baseball. We tapped in to the NFL. Cuyahoga Falls Rapids official page in the building as I'm dying over here. We talked our football. Let's talk some footy.
Yes. And listen, I want to talk about ours first because the other 3, crazy surprising. First, Chelsea, 3-0 win over Wolves. Listen, that team is one of the worst I've seen. And we watched that Southampton team 2 years ago absolutely be terrible. So whatever, right?
Can I get some love?
I'm a
score prediction.
Oh,
Chelsea?
You didn't do 3-0. Okay, you said 5. I said 3. We're gonna go back and watch that because I think I said 3. So we're gonna go back.
I think you're right.
But,
I think it's
so. Anyways, but ho hum, should have won. Glad we did. Moving on to your game. Listen, I know. However, it's still a good result.
Okay. This is going to hurt. We play and have had kind of the same results as Spurs, the up and downs, the free-flowing game. I also said this is the problem. We don't sit back and we can't hold that block. It's not what we do as a team. We free flow, we move, and that also helps Spurs get into their offense. We got our butts saved. To give up 2 goals late like that was not nice. But however, to pull one back in the 96th minute, shout out to Mateus DeLitt. Thank you for coming in and being clutch. The point is the point, but now here is my problem, and this is where I need to see the pushback. We were on that winning streak. You draw at Forest in one that was a little tough. You draw on this one that's now tough. This can't go to a loss, or this is going to go back to what it was. This has to go back up to a win, 3 points on the board, and these two draws feel like not a blip, but hey, we can't always win every game.
I think you're absolutely right. I think that is the point, is two tough draws that maybe should have been a win but aren't a loss. We're going to talk about it. We're going into an international break. You have the reset button. I think that's going to be good for you.
I hope so. I just want to. I want to mention something just to tag, because I want Greg to just let it think it went on. Now, no basketball yet. Number one, just because there's too long of a season, and it's the same way we handle baseball. We kind of let some stuff ride. I'm gonna do a little basketball write up for next week, but that's major. By the way, I know we don't get into, and I derailed the soccer conversation. We don't get into much PAFL on here because we're covering our sports. But if you're not familiar, the Cincinnati Hawks coming in, they're a big club. They are a big team. They are a winning team, a championship team. To have them in the PAFL, amazing. I don't know anything for sure, but from what I've been told behind the scenes, that's not the only one. But that's all I'm going to say on that. Let's get back to the footy. Yes. There we go. International break, good.
So
let's keep it going.
I'm going to bounce again. Aston Villa 4, Bournemouth nothing. Now listen, this Bournemouth team obviously has been playing well above expectations, while the Aston Villa team started off bad but has been coming up lately. For it to be 4-0, I think is crazy.
Yes. That was the stuff that I wasn't sure about, but I don't want to talk about that yet. This is who Aston Villa is supposed to be.
Yes.
This is the Aston Villa team that was being built at the beginning of the year. This is the team that went out in that January transfer market and went out at the late end of the first market and went and got a couple guys, a couple veterans, a couple good players, Victor Lindelof being one. Of course, I'm going to give my United guys some love. Now they're playing. Now they're playing good. And I'm sorry, and I hate to do this to a team like Bournemouth. This is some of the results we expect out of a club that's punching above their weight class. And let's be honest, this is not a hater statement to say that they're punching above their weight class.
No, I think you're right. And I want to take it back to the Nottingham team last year where they got beat, I want to say 5-0 against a Brighton team. And then the next week put up 5 on someone else. And so this Bournemouth team reminds me of that Nottingham team last year where they can play really well, but if they crack in that base, they can give up a lot. And I think that's what that was here.
The problem
I'm going to go.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. I'll finish this one. The problem is going to be going forward for Bournemouth. Have teams figured you out? Have these bigger clubs now? They know now, okay, just slow down, back off a little bit. They're going to give us the ball and we're going to break and we're going to go. So, but we'll see. I'm curious to know.
Do you want to go to the top one or the bottom one?
No, I think we got to go to the bottom first. I think that second score is the biggest result of the weekend. As big as this one is.
I agree. City 3, Liverpool nothing. Liverpool had a goal disallowed. However, this was City's game 100%. I don't think I really saw Liverpool even have a chance in this game. Is this more of City being back on top, or is this more Liverpool again, just not being able to replicate last season's form at all?
Both of them?
Give it to me.
All right. Number one, yes. This Liverpool team is not last year's Liverpool team. They are beatable on any given day. And it's fair to finally say, as we're starting to get closer to this January transfer window, that their transfer window at the beginning of the year, I don't want to say failed, because the season is still has much to go, but it doesn't look good.
No.
This
is.
Go ahead.
I would say this is, and you hate when I do this. This was reminiscent of the time
Chelsea
bring in Timo Werner, Kai Havertz, all of these players that for millions upon millions of dollars that just don't work out and don't produce anything. And this is now, and it's now becoming I can't remember the city manager.
Pep Guardiola.
No, sorry, Liverpool manager. I'm sorry, Liverpool manager. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, go ahead.
But was he winning due to Klopp's players and not the players he is bringing in? That is a very fair question to ask, because now that you've lost players, Allison, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Salah is getting older, and you haven't been able to replace him or really get a good replacement for him.
Arne Slot.
Thank you, Arne Slot. Is that what this is? Or, like I said, is City that good again? Or is it potentially a combination of both?
Well, we'll let the City fan chime in, Mr. Hunter.
Well, you know what he's gonna say.
Right. But listen, I just kind of poo-pooed on Liverpool because I agree. The transfers are not working out. Yes, I will give you credit. It does kind of remind me of that Chelsea team that brought in those big dollar players that absolutely did nothing. And yes, all of that for Liverpool. This even hurts more. Well, not more, but as much. City look good. And what we do know about this Manchester City team is when they get rolling, they are unbeatable. Not like Liverpool, who can be unbeatable. Manchester City turns into a unbeatable monster when they are rolling like this. We gave Erling Haaland some hate because it is not all individual creation on the goal, but damn it, it don't matter right now.
Yeah, it remains to be seen. And I think the bigger news for them that they've won is that the team that we have called basically unbeatable the past 2 months has finally dropped points to a team that can. You made fun of me a couple weeks ago when Chelsea lost to them.
I did.
How does this Sunderland draw feel to the rest of the table?
It's obviously not on the same level because I don't think they could do it. This is Leicester City. This team is not supposed to be up here. And you moved it for me, so I appreciate you. They sit fourth in the table. They're not supposed to be up here. And I'm not talking about them in the terms of when Bournemouth was up there or Nottingham Forest last year or the way Brighton was there a couple of years ago or the way Brentford was higher up in the table last year. This is a team that just came from the championship. They're supposed to be within that gray zone and fighting to stay out of the red and hope that they can survive. They're flying and they can score. And that's the biggest thing. We talked about this pre-season for these Premier League teams and these teams coming up. And we talked about it last year with the teams that come up. The hardest part about coming up from the championship is that you have players that have scored goals, but not necessarily on the Premier League level. There's levels to this game. And the problem for these teams is they're not always able to buy enough players or have enough quality guys that can translate to the Premier League, because a lot of the times when you're in the championship and you have a player who's worth the damn, that boy snatched up at 17, 18 years old the minute he touches your field, and a big club comes in and snatches him and goes, oh, no, he's going to sit on our bench for a year or two and play. He's not going to go down there and get hurt with you. They're able to have maintained this. We've talked about it. They've got a great home atmosphere at the Stadium of Lights. It's unmatched, and not unmatched, but it is top tier in the Premier League. Everything's going right. I don't know if it's sustainable. We've talked about it. These bigger clubs have depth. They've got 25 to 26 players that are all world class, and some of these championship teams that come up maybe have 8, maybe 7, sometimes 11, but they don't go into the squad depth. This Sunderland team has impressed the hell out of me.
And I want to say this because I wasn't sure how this signing would go because it was an older guy coming to a team that is going to be put under a lot of pressure and a lot of
I
movement.
already know where you're going.
Granit Xhaka has been
Yes.
one of the most impressive players this season so far in his ability to just take the game and take the nerves out of these players, take the moment out of these players, and just facilitate the entire team. And it's amazing to watch him. He doesn't have to fly around. He doesn't have to make a million tackles, but you can tell he is the engine of this team and the heartbeat that makes sure that everyone is working as a cohesive unit. And it impresses the hell out of me. And that's why they've been so successful, is because they've been able to take maybe an early goal, an early 2 goals, maybe going down late and not rattle them. And I attribute that to the coach somewhat, but a lot of it with him.
He grabs the game by the back of the neck and he controls it. He doesn't allow his team to get down. He's a true captain. You're talking about it, and I had to pull it up because I forgot the team at first. You're talking about a guy who was ran out of, and this is played into how he played, was ran out of Arsenal, stripped of the captaincy, got into it back and forth with the supporters, was shipped out, had an absolute resurgence on that Bayer Leverkusen team that was flying absolutely high and winning everything. That was the undefeated team, I'm sorry, that did not drop a game until till the final of the Europa League, went through their season and won everything. Then comes into this Sunderland team back into the Premier League with something to prove. And yes, like outstanding, one of your Premier League top players of the year right now, though he won't get a lot of credit because there isn't a lot of goals and there isn't a lot of those stats, but the way he is controlling the game, he absolutely deserves it. The problem for Sunderland is that is an older player who cannot play every single game week in, week out. Now, when you're not having Champions League and Cup games in between, you can rest some players, but they need to keep him healthy because if something was to happen to them, there could be a nosedive in the table.
And and also while they are playing well defensively, they have 10 goals. Yeah, so they have 10 goals defensive, or they have 10 goals against, which is tied for third in the Premier League. They only have 14, which is lower than most teams in the top half of the table. And so the issue is, where are the goals going to be coming from later in the season? And that's the biggest question.
And those defensive records are great, but they take dips. The offense and your attacking players have to cover that and win you a 3-2 and win you a 4-3 or 4-2 or whatever it is, because the defense didn't have the sharpest game, or the ball slipped in behind the goal off a header or something. The offense has, and that's going to be their scoring goals. I did give them credit, but it isn't enough.
Because what I was going to say, when you look at this that Leicester team you talked about, they had Jamie Vardy, they had Riyad Mahrez, they had those upper attacks where I think they were, I'm looking at it now, they were third in goals for in that year. So the goals were there, but the defense was truly what was setting them apart. The defense is setting them apart, but they need the goals.
Absolutely. Let's wonder what they can do in January. If they can try to sneak in and steal a goal scorer from maybe a lower division, or maybe a team that doesn't think this year is their year and they may sell a player who's restless. So we'll see what Sunderland can do. I don't know the funded situation over there. I know I got millions that I'm going to freak up in come January, but we'll get to that at another day. Quick run through to finish this up and wrap us up here with the table. West Ham, Nottingham Forest, Wolves sitting in that red zone. West Ham, Burnley tied on points. Goal differential just slightly, I think, in favor of Burnley, or maybe even. It's very close. But those two teams very, very, very much so fighting. But right there behind them, Leeds, Fulham, Newcastle, very, very much close to the relegation zone. Everton separating themselves a little bit, followed by Brentford, Brighton, Crystal Palace. Bournemouth took a slip this week. Liverpool take a major slip all the way down to 8th place underneath number 7, Manchester United. I don't remember the last time Liverpool was underneath me in the table. I will take this screenshot. Let's go, baby.
I forgot I was gonna ask the question. I go, Ken, what are you more happy about, that you're 7th in the table or that you're actually above Liverpool?
100, the question was answered for you. Haha, above Liverpool and gaining race on that top 4. I cannot believe that those words are actually being spewed
It's a
out of
good
my
feeling. It's
mouth.
a really good feeling.
It's amazing.
Um,
Aston Villa sit in
Go
6th place. I'll let you wrap that up. Aston Villa sit in 6th place. Spurs in 5th. Sunderland start out the top 4, followed then by Chelsea in 3rd, Manchester City in 2nd, and still with a lead in 1st place, Arsenal. Go ahead.
Yes, I was going to say, again, we talked about it. You're starting to, again, kind of see these tiers now. Obviously, Wolves, very, very low, very, below. But 19 through like 14, all within 3 points. That's you're starting to see that's going to be your race. I think Newcastle inevitably is going to kind of break out of that. But I think right now, 19 through 14, that's what it's going to be. Everton, not sure yet. They're kind of wishy-washy, but 12 through like 3, maybe 4 are all there. It's all moving and for the taking. And so obviously that'll branch out. That'll separate itself more, I think, as the season goes on, especially when we hit January. However, right now, this is where you start to separate yourself. This is where you say, yes, we're 7th right now, but we could be 12th or we could be 3rd by the next break, because the next international break is not until March after this one. And so when you go there, this could look a lot differently.
Oh, that scares me as well. That's why we need to pick up 3 points after this break, because we need to keep climbing, because like you said, that dip off and into that relegation zone is way closer than a lot of these teams believe. All right. Last bit of update on sports, because we have gone way longer today than I ever believed, but probably one of the best shows, hands down, we have ever done. Nico Williams has been fired in Dallas. No surprise there. And this news, because it may have been broken. The Detroit Ravens and Cincinnati Hawks to the PAFL is probably the biggest news since the Cuyahoga Falls Rapids entered the PAFL. But those are major winners, major programs built to win championships. It does not, and I know Daniel, the owner of the Rapids, will echo this. Anytime we make this league better, it gets better. And we're getting some live updates right now. BYU has fallen to number 12 in your rankings. And yes, Cincinnati Bearcats into the top 25 right now. So you're saying
Off a bye. Let's go. Wow, I was not expecting to be back in. I thank you to the committee that somehow. I think honestly, maybe that they were just like, listen, we'll give you back in after the bye. We just want to give some teams a chance.
Let's start with the UFL first. We'll get to the NFL eventually.
Are you throwing it to me to end the show?
That's it for us. That'll do it for us on the Straub Sports Show. I'm going to take over a little bit on this one. I want to thank all of our new people in today too. Our man Greg, we really appreciate you. We can see it behind the scenes here. Massive spike in viewership today. I cannot thank you all enough. A shout out to Daniel. Shout out to our guys from Inside the Line, or my guy at Inside the Lines, for giving us a share too, bringing us out to the world so we can spew our absolute nonsense and rant like crazy men on this show here. Drew, final shout outs.
Yes. Thank you for everyone watching, listening, commenting, liking, however you support this show. Couple shout outs. One, shout out FC Cincinnati. Took a great win against our rival Columbus Crew. If Sean, you're still in the chat, take that. Shout out number 2. Great. I know it's early, and I know, we have a lot other sports going on. Amazing college basketball slate tonight. Starts off right now. Cincinnati versus Dayton, old school rivalry. Great going on right now. 8 o'clock, 9 Kentucky versus 12 Louisville. An amazing rivalry there. At 8:30, Texas Tech versus Illinois, 11 versus 14. And then finally at 10 o'clock, for you people that can't sleep, 23 Creighton versus 19 Gonzaga. Great slate of college basketball tonight. If you got nothing going on, listen, it's a Tuesday. There's nothing else going on. Throw on some college hoops. It's going to be a great night.
Nate? I think we cooking some parlays. I will be talking to you in about a minute. Hey, Greg, we appreciate you, and we appreciate that you will be back. We will talk to you Thursday if you want to rock with us for our full preview. I'm not going to talk anymore about the rankings because we're going to break them down on Thursday, and we will derail this whole thing trying to say goodbye. Ray, appreciate you as always. Cuzzo, love you too. Moms, everybody, Pops, we appreciate all of you. We couldn't do it without y'all. I mean, we'd still talk to ourselves, but it's much better to talk to y'all with us. That'll do it for us. We will see you Thursday for a live reaction on us, on our part, to the college football rankings. I will cook up some good bets for you for this week's locks. We love you too, Pops. And obviously, Drew will be cooking up his analysis as well. That'll do it for us here on the Straub Sports Show. We will see you on Thursday, and please remember to love yours.
Ken's got fire and a wild hot take. Andrew's stats make the whole place shake. Laughing loud when your team goes down. Straub boys run this sports town. S-T-R-A-U-B, two loud mouths and a love for the league. From Cleveland roots to the world we go. This is the Straub Sports Show. This is the Straub Sports Show. Sundays, Mondays, we live for the fight. College game day and Thursday night. Rivals fall and the banter flies. We bleed our teams till the day we die.